الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أما بعد. Today's khutbah is called the turning of the Qiblah. Turning of the Qiblah. As we approach the Hajj, all the khutbahs, they should be regarding the Hajj. And last week we spoke about animal rights, and we spoke specifically about the Qurbani and the obligation or the recommended sunnah that we as Muslims we should organize the Qurbani. Today I wanted to speak about the turning of the Qiblah. As we know that Muslims, they are now arriving in Jeddah. Every minute there is a plane landing in Jeddah. Or if you go to the port in Jeddah, there's a port just outside Jeddah, the people they're coming by ship. And this is in response to the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when Allah Jalla wa ala told him to climb a mountain. And he said to him, وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ وَيَذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَى مَا رَزَقَهُم مِّن بَهِيمَةِ الْأَنْعَامِ. So as we mentioned last week, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Ibrahim alayhi salam that proclaim to mankind the Hajj. They will come from every deep and distant valley, on every kind of camel, on every kind of transportation. They will come to see the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said that, Ya Allah, I am alone in this valley, that how can I do this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, just do it and your voice will arrive. So then he climbed the mountain and he said, Ya ayyuhan nas, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna Allah qad amarakum bil hajj fahujju. That ya all mankind, Allah has commanded you to make the Hajj, so make the Hajj. And then this voice, it arrived to the back of our father Adam alayhi salam, to every single soul, even before they had been born. And whoever responded with the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, once in their lifetime when they were born, they made the Hajj once. And whoever responded twice, they made the Hajj in their lifetime twice, etc. So these Muslims, 1.3 million, they came from outside the kingdom last year to make the Hajj. Every minute a flight is landing. So just imagine this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us regarding the Kaaba, this magnetic pole, Inna awwala baytin wudi'a lin-nas lalladhi bi Bakkah mubarakan wa hudan lil-alamin fihi ayatun bayyinatun maqamu Ibrahim wa man dakhalahu kana amina walillahi 'ala an-nasi hajjul bayti man istata'a ilayhi sabila. So Allah Jalla wa ala is telling us that this place of the Kaaba, this is the place where he was first worshipped. And some of the ulama, they said Adam alayhi salam, he worshipped Allah Jalla wa ala on the face of the earth first in the precincts of the Kaaba. And thereafter, as we all know, Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail, they rebuilt the Kaaba on the original foundations. So today I wanted to speak about the Qiblah, the love of the Muslims for the Qiblah. Because the Qiblah is not just a place you go for Hajj and Umrah, it is more than this. The first thing you do when you want to pray is what? First of all, you make wudu, and also you should be covered, your awrah, you should be covered. And then you should be free of all impurities. These are all from the shurut of the salah, the prerequisites of the salah. And then one of the prerequisites, which many of us has become such an ingrained part of our lifestyle, that we automatically align ourselves to the Kaaba, even without thinking about it. It's somewhere deep in the psyche, that as soon as I want to pray, I'm looking for the Qiblah. It's like a homing pigeon homes in on his home. A Muslim, whenever he wants to pray, automatically his body moves towards the Qiblah. This is why wherever we go to a masjid anywhere in the world, you always feel at home. It's got this kind of homely feel to it, wherever you are, because that Qiblah, all the lines are towards the Qiblah, it has some kind of recognition. In some of the books of Aqidah, the Muslims, they are referred to not as Muslims, they are referred to as Ahlul Qiblah, the people of the Qiblah. So this Qiblah, this direction of prayer towards the Holy Kaaba, this is part and parcel of our being a Muslim. This is part of our lifestyle, part of our DNA. So much so that in the 2000s, maybe you remember that one Muslim entrepreneur, he tried to launch Qiblah Cola as a competitor to Pepsi and Coke. Unfortunately, it didn't survive. However, it just shows us the importance of the Qiblah. The Qiblah is important to the Muslims for a number of reasons. Number one, it signifies the unity of the Muslims. The Muslims, wherever you are in the Muslim world, you're connected by an invisible line to another Muslim. It's like we're all in concentric circles around the holy Kaaba. And it gives us a common sense of purpose and a focus in our lives. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has said in the Quran, وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً وَأَنَا رَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُونَ. That this nation is one nation and I am your Lord, so worship me. So this Kaaba is a unifying global factor for all the Muslims, regardless of where they are on the face of the earth. When I was a very young child, I used to have a world map in my bedroom, and I always used to look at Mecca, how it was central to the entire world. It's like Allah Jalla wa'ala, He has intended this to be the center of the world. It's at a meeting point between Africa, Asia and Europe. It's at a meeting point between diverse civilizations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it the center of the world. The Qibla is not only a symbol of our unity, Qibla is also the envy of the nations. Other nations, they're envious of the Muslim world because of the Qibla, the way this direction of the prayer has brought us together. If you think about the golden temple of Amritsar for the Sikhs, or the Ganges for the Hindus, or the Vatican for the Roman Catholics, or the Wailing Wall for the Jews, that you'll see that there is no comparison in the significance of the Qibla and the gravitational pull of the Qibla. If you imagine the story which I recounted a few months ago about Abraha, how he tried to build a rival building to the Qibla, Al-Qullais in Yemen, and he wanted to divert the people away from the Qibla. He was unable to do so. In the end, he wanted to destroy the Kaaba, and this is where Surah Al-Fil, the chapter of the elephant, comes in, and he wanted to destroy this Kaaba. Prophet ﷺ, he said that the people of the book, the Yahud and the Nasara, they are more jealous of us as Muslims over a number of matters. Number one, they envy of us because of Jumu'ah, that we have the day of Jumu'ah. Look at every masjid in the UK is packed on the day of Jumu'ah. They envy us that Allah guided us to Jumu'ah. Well, they tried to locate the day of Jumu'ah, however they were misguided, and they ended up as the Yahud on Saturday and the Christians on Sunday. Also, they are jealous of the Qibla, that they wanted to locate the Qibla. However, they were unable to locate the Qibla towards Mecca. And also, they are jealous of the Ameen. That at the end of Surah Al-Fatiha in the prayer, when the Muslims they pray, we say Ameen. This is a beautiful sound. When the Ameen, it comes in unison with the Ameen of the angel. So again, they are jealous of this. Not only this, but the Qibla has a very, very important story, brothers and sisters. As we know, in the beginning of Islam, when the Muslims they were assembled in Medina, where did the Muslims pray towards? The Muslims, they prayed north towards Jerusalem, towards Baytul Maqdis. And Baytul Maqdis is special because many of the revelation was revealed in Jerusalem. Many of the prophets, they walked in Jerusalem. So you had a very sacred feel to the place. And the Muslims, they were commanded to face towards Jerusalem in the prayers. The Yahud, the Jews, they were overjoyed because this was their holy place. And they saw themselves as the leaders of mankind. That we are Sha'bullah al-Mukhtar, we are the chosen people. And the Muslims now, they are forced to follow us. To the people of the book, to the Yahud, proving to them that this is the Qibla, that they will not follow your Qibla, and now you will not follow their Qibla. So the Prophet ﷺ, he is a true prophet, and he told the people that the Yahud, they will become argumentative, and true to his word, the Yahud, they found it very, very difficult. Not only this, but they found it difficult because this signified that they had lost the leadership of the nations. Now before, they regarded themselves as the supreme nation. Even today, they regard themselves as the chosen people. And when this happened, they realized that something had changed and they had lost divine favor with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya bani Israel, adhkuru ni'mati allati anamtu alaykum wa anni faddaltukum ala al-alamin. The all children of Israel, meaning the Yahud, that remember the favor I favored you with, and that I preferred you above all other nations. So before they disobeyed Musa alayhi salam, they were the chosen nation. However, this change of the Qibla, this marked the fact that they were no longer the chosen nation. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us the reaction of the Yahud, وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ لَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا يَعْمَلُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us that the people of the book, they knew that this was the truth. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them to change the direction of the Qibla. They knew this was the truth, however they were unable to accept it. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a hadith, in a collection of Imam Muslim, we are the last of the nations, and we will be the first of them on the day of judgment. The Muslims, they will be raised from their graves first, and they will enter Jannah first. Even though they, being the people of the book, they received their books before us, they will be after us. So we see here, brothers and sisters, the lessons in the turning of the Qibla, the submission of the Muslims, how they passed this test, how this showed them that Muslims, they were now in pole position, they were now in leadership. We also see, brothers and sisters, from the turning of the Qibla, a very, very important lesson, that we as Muslims, when our brothers and our family members, they die, do we forget them? We never forget them, and we make dua for them. وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. The Muslims, from their dua, Ya Allah, forgive our brothers who passed away before us. So we are always remembering them. Ya Allah, do not create hatred in our hearts for those who passed before us, even if they wronged us. So we always have love for our brothers, and they are our brothers in life as they are our brothers and sisters in death. They are still our brothers and sisters, and their honor is still sacred. The Muslims, when the Qibla changed, they started to worry about their brothers. They thought to themselves that the Muslims who have died, they prayed towards Bayt al-Maqdis. And now the Qibla has been corrected. So does that mean their prayers have been lost? Does that mean their actions were in vain? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He responded to this by revealing an ayah, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيءَ إِيمَانَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِالنَّاسِ لَرَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. That Allah ta'ala, He will not let your iman be wasted. Iman in this ayah meant your salah. Your prayers will not be wasted. And this shows us the love the Muslims, they had for their brothers, that they were concerned not only for themselves, they had deep concern for their brothers, that their prayers, that maybe they had been lost. However, alhamdulillah, it had not been lost. The final lesson we can take from the turning of the Qibla was just because the direction of prayer changed from Quds to Mecca, this does not mean the hearts of the Muslims, they deviated from Quds to Mecca. The heart of the Muslim is still towards Quds. We still have this love for Jerusalem, even though the Qibla is now towards Mecca, because as I mentioned before, there's so much revelation is revealed there. So many prophets, they went there. It was a launch pad for our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he went to the heavens, it was the place where he led all the prophets from Adam alayhi salam to Isa alayhi salam in prayer in Quds. Our heart is still in Quds as if our heart is in Mecca. So we feel a love for Quds, or we feel a love for the people of Quds, or we feel a love for those who are struggling against the Zionist occupation in Quds. We ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to help our Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine and everywhere in the world, and remember them in our du'as. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم أما بعد. In the first khutbah, we're still reliving the theme of the Hajj. We spoke about the Qibla, the importance of the Qibla, and we also mentioned the story of the turning of the Qibla from Al-Quds to Mecca. I want you to mention a few other issues about the Qibla. Number one, that the Qibla is special not only in the prayer, in dua. Now many of us, when we make dua, you can make dua in any direction. However, from the adab, from the etiquette of the dua, is to raise your hands and face the Qibla. So the first thing you should do when you buy a house, the first thing I did whenever I bought a house, is get your compass or get your app and determine the location of the Qibla, because it's going to be very, very important to you for the remainder of your time in this house. In fact, it should be the first thing you do when you buy a house, is find the direction of the Qibla. Also, a matter which many people, they bring to our attention is the accuracy in facing the Qibla. How accurate do you need to be when you face the Qibla? A brother comes up to me and says he's found the latest app and our Qibla direction here is out by 10 degrees, 5 degrees. Does it matter? It does not matter. Because the most important thing, brothers and sisters, when we pray, is we face the direction of Mecca. It doesn't need to be spot on exactly. I was listening to a lecture of one sheikh, and he was saying that one brother, he got Google Earth and he got GPS satellite navigation, and he checked the direction of the masjid, and he found out that if you fire a laser from the masjid, it arrived at the clock tower. You know the clock tower? So he was greatly distressed that the clock tower, which is maybe 200 meters away from the Kaaba, that he had misaligned the Kaaba. So people have become extreme in this issue. Prophet ﷺ, he said, Al-Qibla ma bayna al-mashriqi wal-maghrib. As I mentioned before, Mecca was south of Medina. And Prophet ﷺ said that the Qibla is between east and west, meaning plus or minus 90 degrees. Of course, we do our best to align ourselves with the Kaaba the best we can, the Qibla. However, a small divergence, not intended, it doesn't matter, inshallah. So we don't need to be extreme in this matter. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ, fear Allah as much as you can. Another important matter regarding the Qibla, many years ago I went to a church to discuss Islam with the priest. And the priest told him, we don't worship statues, we don't worship idols. I was explaining to him this idea. He said, yes, but you worship the Kaaba. And in fact, you worship the black stone. So he mentioned this in particular. I wanted to just address this. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in an ayah which many of us, we know, فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ, that worship the Lord of this house. Don't worship the house, worship the Lord of this house. So yes, the black stone, it has a story behind it. We face the Kaaba is the direction of prayer. The barakah in the Kaaba, where is it found? Is it found, like you see, Muslims, they take the prayer mat and they rub it on the Kaaba, on the black stone, and they pray on it. Is this where the barakah is? The barakah is in the tawaf. The barakah is in the dua in the precincts of the Kaaba. The barakah is in praying towards the Kaaba. This is where the barakah is. Yes, you can touch the black stone. If you're on Sunnah, you can kiss the black stone. You can touch the Yemeni corner, which is the corner before the black stone, in the final quarter portion of the circuit. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, I'm sure many of you know this narration. When he kissed the black stone, what did he say? He said, no doubt, O stone, I know you are a stone and can neither harm anyone or benefit anyone. And if I had not seen the Messenger of Allah kiss you, I never would have kissed you. So the answer to this, brothers and sisters, is yes, the Qiblah is sacred, the Kaaba is sacred, the black stone is sacred, but we don't worship the black stone and we don't worship the Kaaba. Rather, we follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that the black stone, it came from Jannah. At the beginning, the black stone, it was not black. The black stone was a white stone. However, the people, how many sins we have. When people, they kissed the stone, eventually it became black. Another hadith regarding the black stone, that on the Day of Judgment it will be raised up to Jannah, and it will have a tongue, and it will have eyes, and it will speak in testimony to those who kissed it in truth. Nowadays, kissing the black stone for many people has become an aspect of showing off. Another thing to relate along with the selfies and everything else. I made the Hajj and I kissed the black stone 7 times. So to many, many people, it's become like a trophy. Kissing the black stone is a trophy, something to drop in a conversation that, mashallah, your Hajj is more accepted than the Hajj of somebody else. So we should know this, brothers and sisters, that we don't worship the Kaaba. However, this Qiblah is very, very important to us, and it links us to Muslims everywhere. If you imagine, if you are in space and you looked at the Kaaba, what would you see? You'd see the people in sajda. It's like a petal. It's like a petal. You have the middle of the flower, and you'll see the flower opening and closing as the people, they make the sajda. And it's a remarkable sight. And even today, when people go on the Hajj and Umrah, one thing that I like, I'm sure you like it as well, standing on the top floor and watching the swirl of people going around the Kaaba. It's such a beautiful sight. If you ever watched on TV, people praying towards the Kaaba, how beautiful it is. People arranged in perfect concentric circles, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the first place He was ever worshipped. So in conclusion, brothers and sisters, in these holy days of Dhul Hijjah, they're coming, maybe it starts on Tuesday or Wednesday, and on your marks, get set, go. These are the best 10 days. Treat them like the 10 days, last 10 nights of Ramadan. Treat them very, very specially. Try to engage, try to excel in as many forms of worship as you can, whether it's more Quran, more masjid, more being good to people, more akhlaq. Whatever it is you do, try to start on the first day of Dhul Hijjah, and the pinnacle is on the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah, the day of Arafah. Try to fast this day if you don't fast any of the other days, and this is the day. So in conclusion, we say, brothers and sisters, that the Qiblah is not about degrees. The Qiblah is not about radians. The Qiblah is not about latitude and longitude. The Qiblah is a direction which connects every nation, every language, every race, every dialect, every tribe on the face of the earth to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the nature of the Qiblah. And it's an expression of the unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His tawheed, that only He has the right to be worshipped. So if you imagine that when you die, the day you die, if you've ever been to Cemetery Lane, I saw recently they put a compass on the ground. They've actually made a patio with the compass. So you know exactly where the Qiblah is. If you go to the graveyard, you're making dua, you can face the Qiblah. And you will find that all the graves, they're aligned towards the Qiblah. And the sunnah actually is that when the person dies, he should be on his right hand side, and he should be facing the Qiblah. The Qiblah is the Qiblah of the living, is the Qiblah of the dead. This Qiblah is something very, very special, and I encourage myself and the brothers here, strengthen your connection with the Qiblah in this life, so that you may be raised with the Ahlul Qiblah, the people of Qiblah on the Day of Judgment, because this is the only direction of prayer that will be accepted on the Day of Judgment, the Qiblah towards the Holy Kaaba. Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lil Islam, all praises to Allah who guided us to Islam. We ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to accept our deeds in the coming days, and to accept the deeds of all the Muslims everywhere in the world, and to forgive all the Muslims living and dead. Jazakumullahu khairan wa sallallahu wasallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam wa aqim as-salah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن